Assalamu alaikum. So today we will be presenting on Gas and Oil Pakistan Limited as part of a retail management project. My group is Group 9 and let's begin with the presentation. So the company background of Gas and Oil Pakistan Limited is that it came into existence in 2012 as a privately held company. It was basically owned by a group of oil and gas sector veterans who had mostly almost like 40 years of experience of the downstream petroleum industry, and it was established with a vision to serve its customer being its first and preferred choice, and a mission to contribute towards making the country a better place to live by creating and maintaining an efficient and safe and sustainable environment and ensuring that quality oil products are supplied to customers across the whole Pakistan. The story starts with Khalid Riaz, who is the CEO of Go Petroleum Limited and was pondering over the next executive meeting coming in 2 weeks to finalize the growth strategy for the next 4 to 5 years, which will increase the company's profitability and the market share simultaneously. And since Go Petroleum began its journey from the South region, Khalid had two options: either to go penetrate further into the South region or to explore areas outside Pakistan more. Furthermore, in terms of the expansion, the type of sites also needs to be decided along with the appropriate retail mix for these sites. So, in order to come to this decision, a thorough internal and external analysis needed to be done. And since he had so much on his plate, he decided to assign this task to a batch of new MBA management trainees recruited from IBA to do a thorough internal and external analysis and define the retail mix and the growth strategy for the next 4 to 5 years.
And the project trainees included Haris Adnan, Mashood Ahmed Padaich, Hussain Marvi, Muhammad Saud Siddiqui, Muhammad Azhar, and Rahima Ashraf.
The OMC sector in Pakistan comprises mainly of 17 main players with a combination of both foreign as well as local companies. The major player in the sector is Pakistan State Oil with around 43% market share. It was formed in 1974 with the combination of four companies, and currently it covers almost all the major regions in the current country, and it mainly sells motor speed and high speed diesel to the customers as well as jet fuel to the military. The second main player in the sector is Atak Petroleum. It was formed in 1988 and has a market share of around 10%. The main product that it sells are MS, high speed diesel and furnace oil, which is sold to the industry. The main area that Atak Petroleum covers is the northern region of the country. After that, Hescol is also a growing player in the sector. It was formed in 2001 and it was a small player in the early stages of its formation, but since 2007 2008 it has grown tremendously and now currently holds around 10% of the market share. It has mainly targeted the city outskirts and motorways, which were not previously targeted by other major OMC companies. Another player in the sector is Parco. It mainly sells furnace oil, HSD, and MS. Previously, there was Parco and Total were separate companies, but then a joint venture was formed, and meanwhile they also purchased the OMC rights of Chevron, which gave them many outlets in the company and foothold in the OMC sector. Currently, it has around market share of around 9%. Then another player is Shell Petroleum. It has around market share of around 8%, and it mainly covers the major cities of the country and sells MS and HSD. Apart from these five, which cover around 60 to 70% of the market share, there are small players which cover only one or two cities or small regions of the country, such as Doom Petroleum and Horizon, etc.
So after detailed analysis and the multiple site visits, the management trainees realized that Go's competitive advantage lies in its good quality oil and exceptional customer service by treating its employees with respect in terms of the need fulfillment, as well exceeding their expectations as well. And the trainees further mapped out the factors that differentiated the company from other petroleum companies operating in the market currently, and have come up with three broad factors that are outlined on your screen below. So you can see, starting off with the stakeholder relationship management. So since the majority of the board members belong to the downstream oil industry, having more than 40 years of experience in both retailing and transportation, so therefore they know the crux of and the basic needs and issues of those retailers and transporters, and accordingly design those strategies that were rewarding for both the company as well as the external stakeholder. And you might also remember the Ahmedpur incident that happened, where majority of the leading OMCs refused to use third-party contractors for their product transportation. But at that point in time, Go continued its relationship with the contractors and helped them install the safety arrangements improvement. And this basically in turn enabled Go to have an efficient and hassle-free delivery service all across Pakistan to all its outlets, even in the times of the crisis when the Oil Tankers Association of Pakistan announced a strike against the big three OMCs of Pakistan. So this was a core differentiating factor that differentiated Go Petroleum from other OMCs. Another factor which the management really realized was a strategy to focus on expansion rather than profits. So although every company thinks of profit as the ultimate goal by cutting down costs, Go Petroleum was not considered with the cost, and its management was considered more with expanding and increasing their reach to fulfill the customer needs across Pakistan. And the third factor they came up with was the supply collaboration. So Go has recently shifted towards a vertical integration with its main supplier, so which has enabled the company to take control of its supply chain process as well as help in delivering on its promise of providing high quality oil to its consumer in the most effective and efficient way. So after analyzing the internal and external market, the next step was to evaluate the retailing mix of the Go Petroleum. And the retail mix includes the merchandise management, location, pricing, communication mix, store design, display, and customer service. So let's evaluate each of these in detail. So Go Petroleum product portfolio currently holds 6 main products, namely Goron Ultra, Go Diesel, Goron 92, some of the lubricants, then there is the EV charger, and some of the non-fuel revenue products, which I will detail in the next slides. The premium lubricants category is launched which is mainly blended by the Mobil Ascri Limited, shortly abbreviated as MOL. And this category basically includes 4 main sub-products. The first one is a passenger car motor oil, then there's a motor car oil, there is under the hood UTH oil, and the final is the heavy duty diesel engine oils. And since Go basically differentiates itself on the basis of its exceptional customer service, it goes beyond the fuel realm by expanding its services into the NFR activities, the non-fuel revenue activities, based on the terminal needs. So these basically differ from terminal to terminal. You might find some of them at the highway terminals, which you might not find anywhere else. And these strategic services includes, for example, 24/7 on the go mart, the tire shop, car wash, fresh juice, and some of the others which I will detail in the next slide.
Primarily engaged in the supply of motor gasoline, high-speed diesel and lubricants to the Pakistani market.
So here is an interesting part, the pricing part. You might be thinking that since all of the petrol stations charge the same prices, so how do they compete and which one gets most profitable? So it all depends on the pricing strategy, which may remain fixed for some products while differ for the others. So HST and the PG petroleum prices are regulated by the government of Pakistan, and therefore they remain same across whole Pakistan with fixed margins. So MC margins are fixed at, for example, 2.97 rupees per liter. However, there are some products on which the price is deregulated, like for example high octane, which Go Petroleum is launching with the name of RAW 97, whose price is not determined by the Ministry of Petroleum. So what happens is that in order to compete effectively, Go Petroleum started a penetration pricing strategy and started competing in the HOBC segment. How it did that was that it started with the price when the normal price of petrol was 105. So Go Petroleum started selling the high octane by the name of RAW 97 at rupees 109, with just a 4 rupees difference. And customers, while offering customers a significantly better quality product, and this was a major hit for its competitors. This was a strategy basically to grab the customers of PSO and Total, and it was very successful. So although these players were forced to cut down their margins, but then again their prices were still above to what was Go offering. And currently also, if you visit any of the Go Petroleum station, so they are offering RAW 97 at rupees 124, whereas the other competitors are offering it at a significantly higher price, like for example 134 or 135 you might get. And this huge price difference in cost is attracting more customers towards Go and helping it gain a better and more market share. So now let's come to the important part of the retail mix, which Go Petroleum mostly focus on. It's customer service. So Go Petroleum aims to make an impact by being more than just an oil marketing company or basically a fuel pump. It's basically its non-fuel revenue initiative are significantly important as Go's forecourt, offering a wide range of services. So for example, they are on your screens, the 24/7 on the go mart, the lubricants, the ATM, the money transfer services which you might find at most of the highway petrol pumps, the fresh juice kiosk, the courier services, which is a very important service if you forgot your mail, the restaurants, the car wash, the pharmacies, which is another very important non-fuel revenue initiative that was launched by Go at their highway restaurants mostly. Then there's the currency exchange services, the vending machines, the tire shop you mostly find at every other Go Petroleum station, the cafes, the confectionaries, the stationery shops, and the forecourt advertising, which is very interesting. And apart from all of this, they have a very friendly customer buyer journey as well, which I will also detail in the next slide, and which basically helps in retaining the customers. So let's discuss that.
Team that working here, they did a really good job, and the washroom is very clean and the service is amazing. Thank you.
मेरा नाम रेहान अल्लाह वाला है और मैं आज फिर शावर लेने के लिए गो के पेट्रोल पंप पे आया था और अब मैं जा रहा था, मैं अपने साथ 25 लोग लेके आया था शावर लेने के लिए.
So starting off the customer buying journey of a typical customer arriving at the Go Petroleum fuel station. So firstly, giving an overview of the fuel station, there are approximately 8 to 10 fillers at every retail outlet of Go Petroleum, and every time a customer walks in, the filler at the entrance basically guides the customer to the vacant fuel dispenser through a specific hand gesture, which you will see if you visit the Go Petroleum station. And then coming on to the next journey, the next step on the journey map is basically to greet the customer. So when the vehicle arrives at a fuel tank, the filler goes towards the driving seat, specifically towards the driving seat, and says, "Welcome to Go, sir." If it's a bike, then it will only be a petrol. If it's a truck or a jeep, then there is a diesel. And if it's a car, then basically the customer has two options: the petrol and the high octane. And then again, the next question is basically a very important one, the touch point and the education part. So the next question is basically regarding the type of the product. So they will ask, sir, क्या डलवाना चाहेंगे आप? And for example, if the customer chooses high octane, then the filler will explain to him how it is better for the engine. And this is how the fillers educate the customers and tell every other car about the high octane, which on one hand boosts the sales and also give a high quality service to their customers. So next step is, for example, after the product is chosen, the filler says, sir, meter check kar le aap, which you might notice at every other petrol station. Not because just because the customer satisfaction is the top priority, and also after the fuel is filled, the filler asks the customer again, sir, aap वापस meter check kar le. Moreover, in the next step, meanwhile all of this is going on, the customers are facilitated with the wiper service, the plate of candies for their kids with families to give them a refreshing feel and ensure that the filler or the petrol station have an impact on the customer. Moreover, there are toilets at every company operated site, the COCO sites, along with other facilities as well, the NFR activities which I detailed in the above slides, to ensure that the customer uses maximum of the NFR business. On the other hand, for example, the next step was that after the fuel is filled, the filler tells the customer how much petrol, CNG, high octane, whatever is filled, and throughout this process, again, the filler would be very friendly, having good gestures and having a good smile on their face. And in the end, when all of this is done, when the bill is paid, he says, Allah Hafiz, sir, please come again, and then the customer goes. So this is how the customer journey is mapped by the Go Petroleum at every of their fuel station to ensure that customer is satisfied at all times. And that is the main objective of their company.
I will be discussing the retail outlet management of Go Petroleum. So I'll start with the types of retail outlets Go Petroleum has. There are basically 4 types. You will see these 4 types of outlets almost in all oil marketing companies in Pakistan. The first type is the COCO sites. The retail outlets are company owned and operated. The entire expense of building, maintaining and operating these outlets are made by the company itself. All assets regarding these outlets, including the land, is owned by the company. The second type is the total dealer finance. So except for COCO sites, all other outlets are set up and operated with cooperation between company and a private dealer. In the total dealer finance model, almost all the expenses and investment is made by the dealer. The company only offers just products at the outlets. The margin for the dealer is obviously highest in this model, and the margin for the company is the lowest. Then comes the company finance retail outlets. In this model, all major investment and expenses in setting up and running the outlets are borne by the company. The dealer brings a small part of investment, usually land, and takes his share of profits according to his investment. These type of outlets are not these type of outlets are not company owned. So the last outlets are so the last type of retail outlets of OMCs, including Go, are mutually funded retail outlets. These outlets are owned by the dealer, but the dealer asks the company to help him in setting up and running the outlet. So the expensive and investment in these types of outlets are divided. Now I'll discuss the retail location strategy Go adopts. So basically, I'll be discussing the factors to look into when deciding the location for the new outlet. So one of the most important factor is the flow of traffic at that location. That is the number of cars that pass by this location. So the number of cars are directly proportional to the sales for any petrol pump. The brand loyalty in OMCs are quite low and the convenience is high. So OMCs have to locate their outlets strategically to attract a higher number of customers. Okay, so the second is OMCs, including Go, tries to set up its outlet on or near the main roads. The rationale behind this is that this is to attract the customers, higher number of customers, and sell higher volumes. So as we know that almost all citizens have to take the main road to commute from one part of the city to another. So this increases the chances of getting new customers. Another factor while planning the new retail outlet location, the company studies the financial of the nearby outlets of competitors on the locations in the consideration set. So if Go plans to set up an outlet at Sharaf SL, it will study the sales revenue, lease and operating cost of Hascol, PSO and Shell at that location. So these are confidential, but the company uses the sources to get this data out. So another strategy is the OMCs can adopt is the blue ocean strategy and locate their outlets in areas with less competitions. Basically, the untapped market, going for the untapped market. Go has adopted this strategy as it has located most of its outlets in the south belt, where most OMCs are focusing on the northern markets, especially Punjab. The factor to consider is whether the company has a license and the limit to set up in a province it intends to. So every OMC needs a provincial license from OGRA. This license depends on whether the company has a storage depot in that province. Also, the number of outlets that can be set up in a province depends on the company's storage capacity in that province.
Hello, my name is Hussain Marvi, and I'll be talking about how space optimization is achieved at Go Pakistan. So, one of the most crucial challenges faced by retail managers today is space management. And a well organized retail outlet helps attract new customers, it enhances the customer experience, increases the productivity and efficiency of the service being provided, and obviously, it will help impact the financial performance of the retail outlet, and it will further increase customer loyalty. So consumer buying behavior is changing, and so should the retail outlets to prompt more unplanned and impulsive purchases. So conventionally, when we talk about how the fuel stations were designed, they were designed in a manner to cater the maximum number of cars with enough space for each car to be parked separately in order to fill each car at the same time and avoid trafficking. So this was the main purpose. Obviously, Go Pakistan is also following the same outlet right now. So their petrol stations or their fuel stations are designed in a manner where you have three columns with two filling machines placed per column. So in total, let's say you have around six to nine machines which can service a car, which can refuel a car at the same time, while you have space for a car being parked in line. So that accounts for at least twice the size. So around 20 cars can be managed at the same time, which includes the waiting time for other cars. So to achieve optimization, space optimization, obviously you cannot play along in this area, which has been conventionally being followed for space optimization purposes. But what other companies are now focusing on is how to utilize the other space which is available. So the times are changing, and with that, the strategies need to be redefined, even though the core remains the same for store layout purposes. With the filling stations planted underground and the machines to fill tanks on the ground, the space left needs to be optimized. And almost all outlets of Go possess a toilet for male and females. So this is also part of their space optimization plan. So moving forward, so let us now talk about how space optimization is being achieved at Go Pakistan. So they have around 14 to 15 NFR activities. NFR activities are basically non-fuel revenue activities, which are being followed at the pump stations according to basically the customer demands and how the customer buying behavior is changing with time. So they have a 24/7 on the go mart available at their fueling stations. They have restaurants available. This is mainly located at motorways where people are commuting for longer distances. Then there's the tire shop available. So this again, it varies per retail outlet and how much space they have and how much finance they have and what are the customer demands over there. So using data, these things are then finalized. Then the fourth one is Go lubricants, which are available at the petrol station. So this doesn't account for space optimization, but this is also, it takes up the shelf space and shelf life is associated with it. So then there is the car wash facility available. Again, this is also very pivotal in terms of increasing customer loyalty and increasing brand equity in the whole. So then there are cafes located in some retail outlets. There are ATM money transfer services. Pharmacies are available. Bakeries, confectionaries, fresh juice kiosks. Currency exchange services at some fueling stations are available. Stationery shops, courier services, even vending machines without mart, and forecourt advertising. So these are some of the NFR activities being followed at Go Pakistan. So each retail outlet is designed separately by understanding the location and demands of the location using consumer insights and data collection. The space for each of the NFR activities are allotted accordingly. If you focus on the mart, for example, so both the exterior and interior of the store is designed in a manner to provide adequate walking space, improve visibility of the store and the products. A point of sale is there, sufficient lighting and promotions is important, shelves with products placed according to their demand, etc., and their shelf life. So this is all going on in just one, let's say 24/7 on the go mart, which is also outsourced in many occasions. So aligning with their strategy of space optimization, Go is also now the first OMC in Pakistan to launch charging stations for electric vehicles as well. So electric vehicles is the future, we all know that, and all the fueling stations, they have a life expectancy of, let's say, less than 100 years for now. And so we know that electric vehicles will be the future, and Go is the first company to invest in charging stations, and this is also part of their strategy of space optimization, as they have allocated a separate space where a car can easily be parked and charged, safe and secure. So I'll now be talking about BTL promotional activities being followed at Go Pakistan. So BTL is abbreviated for below the line promotional activities. And at Go Pakistan, the primary promotional tool being followed to achieve better brand equity and brand awareness using customer interaction is BTL instead of ATL activities, which is more based on the B2B clients and improving the overall profile of the company. But when it comes to B2C, BTL activities are an immediate priority to increase market share along with increasing customer loyalty. And major chunk of the market share belongs to the bike owners and rickshaw drivers instead of automobile cars for Go. So this is very important and significant to understand that this makes it extremely important for a brand to interact with its customers on a personal level to gain better insights as to what they desire. So, Customer Care Day is one of the main BTL activities followed at Go Pakistan, which is done on a weekly basis, where the management team visits a specified retail outlet, interacts with the customers, distributing promotional deals and free products like tissue papers, water bottles, keychains, etc., with Go logo on it. And here you can also see a picture of one of the C-level members basically talking to a customer directly. So in Ramzan, some gifts like Safar Ki Dua and Ramadan timings brochure card are distributed to engage customers and try to increase sales. This was found to be extremely successful in, as this activity is basically targeting the target market of Go Pakistan directly, and it has shown an increase in sales as well. So when a new product is being launched, Go introduces these products at their retail outlets using promotional deals as well. So, in order to gain authentic customer insights on their new products, some management team members even disguise themselves as fillers at petrol pump stations to interact with customers and increase overall customer satisfaction. Apart from that, some of the BTL activities, flyers are placed at retail outlets and on the roads as well to increase visibility. Lucky draws are also held periodically on big occasions or at a launch of a new product to maximize customer engagement. And another important BTL activity for Go Pakistan is conducting car shows. So there was recently a D car show, basically in Karachi only. So where a lot of customers took part in that car show, and they took pictures obviously, and they were sharing it on the social media. So this is also overall helping them increase their brand name and awareness.
So I'll be explaining more about the layouts that are mostly used at Gas and Oil Pakistan Limited. Here one is a few of the layouts. So as you can see in this layout, at the front there's a 22 feet wide metal main road. Along with that, on the sides of this main road there is the highways land. With the highway land, as you can see that the frontal there's a front of the petrol station depicting of the canopy. Within the canopy, you can see there are four little rectangles there. One of them is for petrol, the other one is for HSD. On the back end, there are two pillars with which there are two nozzles for petrol and high octane, and the other one is for CNG, because this is a CNG converted petrol station. On the extreme left side of the site, you can see there are fuel tanks with 3000 liters capacity for diesel, 2000 liters capacity for HOBC, and 5000 liters capacity for petrol. At the left top side or side of the site, you can see there are toilets along with the manager's office. Then there is the executive office, or where this executive place is basically for any tuck shop that you can see at any normal fuel station. With then there is electrical room. As I said that this petrol station was basically a CNG converted station, so it has a compressor room as well, which is at the right top right side of the site. So then along with the walls of the petrol station, on the both on the left and right side, you can see fire extinguishers, which are a requirement as stated by the by OGRA, the governing body of petroleum industry in Pakistan. Front is, as you can see from the layout, front matters most in a petrol station, as the customer has to and the company ensures that enough space is there so that a customer can turn his car in a very convenient way, and the turning radius should be big enough for a big car or a bigger vehicle to enter and exit the petrol station. So moving over to the second site. So as you can see, this site is is a bit different from the previous one in terms of the size, in terms of dimensions, in terms of layout. The core difference is that the previous one was a CNG converted station, while this site is being built from scratch. It is one of the COCO sites that the company has planned in Bhakkar. It is as you can see that there is also a difference between the pillars beneath the canopy. There are four pillars in the site as compared to the previous one. Within from these four pillars, there are two pillars are dedicated towards a high-speed diesel and two for petrol. As you can see that there is a 10,000 capacity for HSD and 5,000 capacity for petrol. As the company plans to set it up as a cocoa site, the company has different specifications allotted for cocoa sites, and mosque is one of them. If you have a mosque, the company plans to place a mosque as well. So a 20 by 20 feet mosque is also there. Then, as this is uh, this is one of the cocoa sites, as I've told, the company might be planning to increase the facilities provided there. So it has left an open land behind that, and there is also some open space left behind the manager's office. There's facilitation for in terms of toilets and tuck shops, as well as other safety precautions have also been taken into consideration. This site also has a 50 feet front, uh, which is a huge convenience for the customers as well as for uh, huge vehicles. As you can see, both of the HSD fillers have been placed in the front, not at the back, so that the company can leverage upon on our bigger front, and trucks and buses can come in and get the fuel filled and exit the station easily. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Mashood Ahmed, and I'll be explaining more on supply chain being administered at Gaston Oil Pakistan Limited. So, as we know that the supply chain must be clearly supervised and should be free from errors, since the materials are mostly bought on the spot and the cycle time is very minimal. Furthermore, the ongoing inventory flow across the supply chain is vital to the effectiveness of every retail organization. Retail management is thus of great importance for every retail organization and must be carefully managed and maintained. Analyzing Go's supply chain was important for devising a growth strategy. Furthermore, the MBA student had to identify the major players in the supply chain of Go, along with the impact on Go, which was followed by identifying the relation Go had with the key players within its supply chain. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Mashood Ahmed, and I'll be explaining more on supply chain being administered at Gaston Oil Pakistan Limited. So, as we know that the supply chain must be clearly supervised and should be free from errors, since the materials are mostly bought on the spot and the
So let's
cycle
see what
time
the
is very
management
minimal.
trainees have decided as
Furthermore, the
part of the teaching notes,
ongoing
and
inventory
let's
flow
discuss them
across the
in the
supply
upcoming
chain is
slides.
vital to the effectiveness of every retail organization. Retail management is thus of great importance for every retail organization and must be carefully managed and maintained. Analyzing Go's supply chain was important for devising a growth strategy. Furthermore, the MBA student had to identify the major players in the supply chain of Go, along with the impact on Go, which was followed by identifying the relation Go had with the key players within its supply chain. So when we talk about relationship between Gasol Pakistan Limited and its retailer, I should start with this one thing, that to achieve its task of ensuring an effective, safe, sustainable environment and distribution of its petroleum products, Go has to find a new way of entering this pre-occupied sector. Gas and Oil Pakistan Limited used to be the considerate management expertise and personal relationship with existing dealers in Pakistan. It focused on giving its retailers a sense of ownership without toughening and fast guidelines. Without the site limits or quotas that the big four companies have always been implementing on its retailers, Go did not went too harsh on its retailers. Instead, they said its retailers to buy as much as they want without any restrictions. Go focuses on building personal ties with each franchisee, making it a component of the brand. Go's CEO, Mr. Khalid Riaz, assures his presence at the opening ceremony of any new franchise or a cocoa site being launched. This level of personal commitment and participation in the project of a franchisee has always been Go's core strategic competence. With over 40 plus years of experience, Mr. Khalid Raz has established his PR, with which he has been able to attract many retailers who were previously working with other companies. He puts retailers' demand first, and for him, the retailers is always right. So, looking at this, every department at Go has to ensure that the needs or orders placed by the retailer are fulfilled at the earliest. Go is one of the very few companies in Pakistan which is working on such a large scale, but the CEO is always available for every dealer. Dealers can directly call him and even get the complaints or issue resolved right away. Thank you.
The OMC sector in Pakistan was expected to grow from the period 2020 to 2024 according to OCAC oil report. Even though the country was going through the recession, however, the forecast does not account for the impact of COVID. COVID mainly decreased the sale of oil in the fiscal year 2020. However, with the invention of the vaccine and easing of lockdown, the sales are expected to get back to the previous levels, pre-COVID levels. Also, the future outlook, as per the many foreign reports, is positive. So this means the increase in disposable income in the coming years. Also, there has been a recent major investment in automobile sector as well as other manufacturing sectors, which is also expected to contribute to the increase in sale of the OMC and sector in the period 2020 to 2024.
After analyzing the whole scenario, the management trainees needed to decide the way forward. Will Go be able to expand its share and reach and increase its profitability? Only time will tell. For now, the management trainees are all excited to present their hard work to the management team. So let's see what the management trainees have decided as part of the teaching notes, and let's discuss them in the upcoming slides.
Moving forward to the case teaching notes. So after an extensive research by the team, it was recommended to now move to other regions instead of further expansion in the southern region. The team recommended Balochistan and northern Punjab as lucrative market for Go Petroleum. The reason behind this was that these markets are still highly untapped, and so it would be easy to establish the brand here and take the first mover advantage. Also, the brand awareness of Go in these markets was pretty lower as of now, and to move here will obviously improve the brand awareness, which is one of the key objective of Go Petroleum. So the retail mix proposed for these new markets is that in the merchandise category, along with the petroleum products, Go should also focus more on non-fuel products, that is Go Mart, cafes, oil change, car wash, etc. For pricing, Go should continue the same low price strategy for high octane as it does in the southern Punjab and have gained pretty good advantage in that region. Okay, so the location suggested for the new outlets is highways and motorways as the flow of traffic is higher. so customer acquisition will be easier. The store design recommendation is that the petrol station should have a broader entrance, so the cars and SUVs can easily get in the petrol station. uh, Also, the space should be allocated for washrooms, go-marts, cafes, car wash, and other services. The level of customer service should also be at the highest level. So all employees should follow the company procedures and guidelines, and obviously the new staff would be hired for the new outlets. So extensive trainings should be offered, so that like the HR should have a 1 month training program before launching any outlet, and also the HR team should visit often in these new regions to provide trainings and ensure all procedures are followed correctly, because this is very important for customer service part. Okay, so for the consumer promotion, the recommendation is to have lucky draws at launch. So the customers who purchase more than 10 liters enters a lucky draw with expensive gifts like bikes and other prizes. Also, the loyalty program should be expanded to these regions as well, because it has been a pretty success and has been very helpful in acquiring new customers and loyal customers. The new outlet strategy is to have more coco sites, which are company owned and company operated. The primary reason for this recommendation is to ensure standardization. So, as the brand is entering into new markets, it is important that the consumer grasp a positive brand image. And so at company operated sites, the company will be able to perform more branded activities and can enhance the brand more well than it would be able to in a partnership with a dealer, with in which the dealer will also have a say. And so this might not be positive for the new market. Also, standardization will create a clear brand positioning, which is important for the newly launched, for any newly launched brand. It's important that the positioning is pretty clear. So this will help.
Thank you, everybody, and that's all from the Grip 9.